The International 3 group stages continue now here on Beyond the Summit. Of course, there are 3 other streams. We haven't mentioned it too much today, but if you haven't already heard, Toby, Sheaver, as well as AC and Draskell are all casting, so you can check out those streams. But we're in Game 2 now. It's Fnatic versus Zenith, and Fnatic looks scary. Oh, I'm LD. He's Lumi.
Yeah, and Fnatic does look scary. I agree with that sentiment.
And on that note, Game 2, draft underway. We'll hop into it, but let's go.
Yeah, this is the first time I've seen the Alchemist being picked, and to be surprised, I thought Alchemist was going to be the first top tier picker ban.
We saw Navi pick him once today as a support.
Like,
yeah.
I imagine Zenith will play as a carry, right? Well, you never know.
We haven't cast that many. I guess this is just now. Well, I guess we've cast a few Asian teams,
yeah.
but Rattlesnake just doesn't like Alchemist that much, and IG was picking very interesting today. So I think when we start to see more of our LGD Chinas, our DKs, we may see more Alch.
Well, we're going to see, for now, Visage and Weaver. Trixie's Weaver, he never actually seemed like he does much.
Yeah.
But he's always on that one corner of the map pushing her lane, so he's always doing something. And to be honest, I'm just missing those lineups that have 5 stuns. What happened to ever those lineups? Where we just Lina, SK, Lesh, and Storm, and just, hey, we see a hero, we're killing that goddamn hero.
I go back to a game, it was last year in the Beyond the Summit World Tour. Zenith picked Tidehunter, Darkseer, Disruptor, Enigma, and some other AoE stunner.
Okay.
And they won the game in like 20 minutes.
I'm just saying.
5-man, 5-man, 5-man. We don't see that anymore.
What happened?
It's a dead breed.
Well,
it's a dying breed anyway.
Split pushing is what happening to 5-manning. You can't.
Split pushing, mass cores, good counter push heroes. The hero pool has widened a lot since TI2. I believe there's been at least like 10 to 15 heroes added, and a lot of them are important heroes.
Well, in the Western qualifiers, around 36 to 40 hero was unplayed. So if we backtrack a little bit, that means 60 heroes are played-ish.
Yeah, there's a lot more games in TI3 than there is in the qualifiers.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a good question while we watch the draft unfold, because it looks pretty standard so far. How many heroes do you predict will have been unplayed from the start of the wildcard match until the end of the grand finals of TI3?
Well, I'm going to check my compendium real fast, because that's actually one of the...
Is it?
Yeah, that's actually one of the predictions. I think I put 36 to 40.
That's a lot. You really think that many? I could see it easily being closer to like 20.
Well, I did not expect people are bringing out Timbersaws. I did not expect people are bringing out Tinkers, which is a hero that sometimes go unpicked.
Goes unnoticed, yeah.
So
Bloodseeker certainly one of them.
Bloodseeker, yeah. So I said 36 to 40, and I'm regretting that choice.
36 to 40. I think it'll be much closer.
I think
like
more
10
like
to
25
20.
to 30.
20-ish?
You're going to have unpicked.
This is where you should bring up the hero list. But I mean, we can table that thought. Just stimulating discussion anyway.
I mean, let's like Drow Ranger, she's not going to get picked, right?
Sniper, no. I think Ursa could. Troll's not. Well, a lot of these heroes aren't in CM, so I don't think we can. Are we counting heroes that aren't in CM?
I don't think they are automatically counted. I'm not sure, actually.
Yeah. Centaur
Omni
doesn't
Knight
count.
is not going to get picked.
I think Tusk will get picked. Zenith will pick him at some point.
Sure. What happened to the Brewmaster? He's actually really powerful.
Well,
we just simply forgot about him.
The one we saw a lot more Brewmaster when we saw a lot more Lone Druid, because he's really good against Lone Druid and he's great with him.
He's also really good against Luna.
Yeah. We haven't seen much Luna. Luna actually might end up going unpicked.
Nah,
almost unpicked.
LGD International will pick him.
Yeah,
what about Undying? I don't think anybody will pick him.
DK? DK like their Crystal Maid Undying?
Yeah,
we'll
sometimes.
See We've seen Scarth Mage.
Skeleton King?
Alliance will pick Ogre Magi. I mean, we're just going through the whole hero pool. We should cast the draft, Lumi.
I mean, it's standard. I'm just saying.
It's pretty standard here, but we do see a Chen coming out from Zenith, so more jungle from them.
How is their Chen? You're using their Chen a lot more than I have.
X-Freedom is a decent jungler. I don't view him as like an Extinct or an explosive, super high impact jungler, but he's solid.
Okay.
I think he still plays jungle for them.
I mean, this team has been swapping roles a little bit, so maybe not.
Gunrun wants Sand King. You'll see Sand King, don't worry.
Yeah, Sand King is...
Just wait for Orange. Orange will pick Sand King every game. Gunrun better be...
They better be picking Sand King every game.
Isn't Gunrun part Pinoy? He should be a Zenith fan, because X-Freedom's half Pinoy. Is he the only Pinoy representative? Jayo's not a TI3. Well, he's not playing. I think X-Freedom might be the only Pinoy player at TI3. Okay. Ubosyan, X-Freedom, Ubosyan, get your act together. Your team needs your help now. It is game 2, of course.
That sounds like a superhero call, man. It's like, we need your help. X-Freedom, please. And what kind of superhero name is that? X Freedom. That's a pretty cool one, right? Now, Ventusor is going to get the selection here, and there is a ton of minus armor. And minus armor is the way to deal with Weaver. It's a way to deal with Lifestealer. And by gone, we have stuns on this lineup. We have Alchemist, we have Venge.
So Fnatic have a really good laning lineup. But what Zenith have, I think, going their way are some good counters to them. Chen is great against Visage. We've talked a lot about this because Visage has no AoE to stop pushes. Visage wants to lane against support so he can try and blow them up. Chen won't be in the lane. And he can't really punish a creep dive. You can maybe Grave Chill, and that's about it. Razor can be fantastic against Lifestealer in the laning stage as well. Alchemist can really scale well if it turns into a farming war. I think the Zenith draft, way stronger.
Yeah. Well, at the same time, you also didn't give away a Wisp, which enabled a lot of different strategies. They also banned out some of the more dangerous heroes like Timbersaw. So I think this is a little bit more of a standard game. And when games are more standard, I think Zenith has a lot better chance of winning the draft and the game.
Yeah, as much as we all love and know and love Zenith for their crazy picks, ultimately, I think they're best when there's something a little bit unusual, but they still have, you know, a synergy in mind, a strategy. And obviously, this Venge pick is helpful here. They needed some way to cancel Black Hole. They do get it now. They also pick up a Windrunner.
Okay.
Great hero against Lifestealer. Great at kiting him. You have some good counter push as well to deal with Enigma. And they needed a little bit more AoE. I think this is a pretty strong and well-rounded Zenith draft. Yep. Something they did not have last game.
And the question now remains is what is Honey playing? Because we don't see a solo mid just yet. Razor does quite well against a lot of solo mid. Are we seeing a Weaver mid lane to kind of just dodge away from that static link? It can be. And I think well, no, it's going to be Honey Clock mid. Doesn't he just get owned by Razor? Or do you just cog once he links you and just run away?
Yeah, you can do that. I mean, Clockwork shouldn't die to Razor, but Razor
you get zoned out. Yeah, you get zoned out quite a bit.
I think, I mean, I would be surprised if it's a Weaver mid because Trixie's been taking it offlane every game. So I think it's an offlane Weaver. Maybe, yeah, it looks to me like offlane Weaver, mid Clock. Who knows where Fly's going in the jungle, and then probably a safe lane. Arrow Lifestealer, oh boy. I mean, as much as I like Zenith's draft, they did give away Arrow's Lifestealer again, and we've seen what you do, or what they can do if his farm is left unchecked.
Well, they're thinking about pushing right from the get-go. You see Lifestealer picking up by bringing protection, but we'll talk about that a little bit.
You've already lost.
Wow.
57 heroes.
We only had like 20 matches.
Beautiful. I think it could be 10
I'm happy to wrong because I want to see more heroes, right?
Yeah, we all do.
Well, let's
now, some of them are not picked for a reason. Like, we saw that with Bloodseeker. I mean, that hero, very, very niche pick, I bet.
They're picked for the hype. But let's introduce the teams here. Fnatic on the dire side. They are 3-0. One of the few teams that are completely... Well, actually, one of the many teams that are undefeated so far here. No Tail's going to be playing our Visage up top. We do have the Lifestealer being handled by Era, one of his really signature heroes. We do have Trixie on the long lane Weaver. Clock is going to be handled by mid on Honey. Last but not least, you see Fly standing over here. He's waiting to deny a mid creep with his conversion, and he's playing on the Enigma.
Yeah, on the side of Team Zenith, you've got your Singaporean Malaysian mix, the Southeast Asian boys looking for their second win, currently 1-2 in this group. XY on the offlane Windrunner. He started with 6 tangos here. We're not going to see that Navi strat of just quelling blading the creeps and then right-clicking the Ancients, which I think is worth going for as an offlaner. But he thinks he can get something out of the lane. Let's see if he's right. Yamate will be on that Razor. A little bit of a skirmish at level 1. Arrow will get a DD. No Tail already Grave Chill online. They think they can go on this, but he does have boots, so I'm not sure about that. Towards the bottom jungle, we've got X Freedom playing that jungle Chen. We'll have Ice on the Alchemist, and that leaves Ice on the Venge. And I just want to point out, Trixie's up to something. Hiding in the trees, looking for some free experience.
I mean, he
really is. It really is a cockroach, just a parasite.
He is gonna get free XP regardless, because I mean, there's Vengeful Spirit. You should be able to dodge that magic missile. Although with that said, Ice does have Sentry Ward. And speaking of it, if you look at this Chen, poor Chen is just—he's actually filthy poor because he has pulled 3 sets of regen, 2 for Yamate on the mid lane, and then 1 for the Windrunner up top because these guys all have win boots first.
So that top lane, actually, I guess it makes more sense that XY is not doing the Ancients trick because they can't kill him without Enigma. They have no stuns.
Well, but Enigma comes, they're definitely getting that kill, right, at the same time, if you think about that.
That's true, but if he's coming, then he's not jungling. So we'll see. For the time being, with the boots first build, you can really just kite the Lifestealer constantly. You can always right-click him. and Era can't even go into harass. Often we will see that on the safe lane lifestealers. They'll just walk up with the Orb of Venom and just right-click, but you can't do that against Windrunner with boots. She'll always be able to back off and plink away. So one of the best heroes to punish melee farmers in the laning stage in most cases, and so far working out.
Yep.
And the mid lane's working out for them as well. This is a matchup that the Razor should do very well in 6-1. So that's 2 lanes for Zenith that I think they'll get a lot out of. And as for the bottom lane, free farm Alk in the safe lane, Lumi, I like the looks of this game a lot if I'm a Zenith fan. I'd feel pretty good so far.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that as well. Trixie now harassing a pull a little bit. I think she even stole a couple of CS on those wolves. Now pulling to the left. Yeah, Zenith really utilizing the map quite well. But this pull obviously is detected by Observer on the ground. So let's see what Fnatic could make of it. I think it really will come through from Fly. Fly has to set up some decent ganks with those Malefice. And hopefully could time it in such a way that those either Windrun or, for example, in the mid lane, Yamate being a little bit out of position.
Grave chills there from No-Tail, and XY says, all right, I'll just right-click you. There's nothing you could do. So they are jungling Enigma, and Fly's movement last game, I think, just broke the game wide open for them. So we'll see if they can find similar success from him. There's always the threat of him ganking top. The middle lane as a Razor with Clockwork here, I think you could actually kill him, but it's a pretty dangerous hero to gank, because if you end up not killing him quickly enough, he just turns around and kills both of you.
Yeah.
So I think that top lane is the place to go, either to push for Fly, earlier in Basilius is already up on Era, or even potentially to go for the kill.
Yeah, Trixie on the bot lane, he's actually just so damn scared for whatever reason, because he's actually backing off from his own tower.
He probably should be, because Ice has a sentry ward. So if you just sentry and you get that Alk stun or Venge stun in, then you're dead.
Right, but he doesn't see Ice anywhere, right? He's behind tower.
XY, this could be your first blood. There's a power shot. There's no way out for him, and he should be going down.
Well,
wow.
They didn't even need Enigma.
They got in range for the open wounds. Didn't think that would be possible, but they did, and there's your kill.
200 range open wound from Era, gonna get that kill. And if he ever gets up to phases, oh, your Windrunner lane is done.
They do kill the Windrunner there in the dual lane. Still, though, you are free farming your Alk. Ice already 19-3, and he's going Battle Fury from the looks of things, Reign of Health. So if they can stack up some Ancients for him, they're still winning mid. They're getting farm on their Chen in the jungle, who's got a Wildkin. X-Freedom can get pretty greedy here, but they're going to lose XY again. That's 2 down for him. Windrun's still available, but look the body block they've got. It looks hard. There's your Soul Assumption.
Yeah, No-Tail's waiting for that one.
I think this is where maybe you just go farm the Ancients. I mean, honestly, you have... Well, I guess you don't have the Quelling Blade, but maybe even let your teammates come and clear out those trees.
Well, so for farming Ancients, you have to use your Power Shot to blow through this particular wave of trees.
Oh, that's right. You do a Power Shot.
And then you also have to blow through these 2 trees. So
Yamate, I don't think No-Tail wants to be here. Uh-oh. 4-minute ruin. It's going to spawn bottom, though. Haste is there.
Yeah, I mean, Yamate's winning the CS war, but the way I see this particular lane, even though he has 10 more CS than Hani, Hani simply needs this lane for the EXP. Yamate needs EXP and farm, and he's not really getting too much farm, to be completely honest, because Hani's just running in and out, dropping cogs, just really being annoying. And I think, to be honest, he's actually getting a little bit more out of the lane of what he needs compared to Yamate.
Yeah, I think he's doing better for the matchup. Like, Yamate's winning, but I do agree that Yamate should probably be winning a bit harder than he is. Still, though, for Zenith, you have your tier 1 up top. Windrunner's died a few times, but XY, already level 3. He's been able to hold on to the tower. And I think that's really the big thing against Zenith. They're a lineup that's really built around chasing, diving, and hero pickoffs. And if they can't find the early towers, then going for those dives, much higher risk, lower reward type of play at that point. So as long as Zenith hold on to these towers, farm their Alk, I would like to see some jungle stacking, and as I go to check if they've been doing it, they've been very diligent. Triple stacks up there. Ice already 1-point wave of terror. And with Avenge as well as an Alchemist farming those stack camps, they are just going to melt.
Yeah. I mean, right now you see Chen is taking a stack of his own, just getting some EXP for himself. He's going to get quick level 6, or at least attempt to do so, and that's going to be very important in terms of making sure your hero survive.
Make it a hat trick for XY. This will be 3 deaths for him top lane.
Well, I think XY...
I don't know what his plan was, but...
I mean, getting away 3 death is already pretty bad, but he's also going to lose that tier 1 tower. I think the push is
and he's missing
right
like 2 waves of... He might miss two waves of experience here. At least 1, and he can't even TP into the tier 1. Because if he does, they'll kill him again. So he's got to TP to the tier 2. Honestly, I mean, he could even be... Even if he's not farming Ancients, he could be stacking them for the Alk, and then he can get the experience later. I don't think this is the best way to play the lane.
Yeah, well, at this point, I'm not exactly sure how you even recover. He's running right back in. The Malefice could actually hit on him. I'm surprised that Fly did not just let one fly.
Level 1 fly. Oh, X-Freedom waiting at the regen rune. Hani's going to catch him out. Beautiful hook, albeit an easy one. He had a ward for this, and now he gets the kill. There was actually a Radiant
top
ward
lane,
here.
though, XY in trouble again, gets caught out by the Malefice, and yet another kill. 0-4 from the top lane.
Normally, to me, XY is the most reliable player on Zenith.
By far.
It's like watching TC on Liquid have a bad game. I mean, if anyone has a bad game on Liquid, it's rarely TC.
Yeah. Well, now they're going to try to get a kill on Trixie. Trixie running quite away.
He's in trouble.
There's going to be a couple more stun. Another Sentry Ward, just making sure they get that kill. But, I mean, I guess this game you say, Ice, you are the one man I trust to carry me because he is doing quite well on that bot lane.
Yeah, Ice is really going to have a fast Battle Fury. 50 CS, 7 minutes in, close to perfect here. And they've got the neutral stacks for him that we mentioned before. Again, I think they can start stacking the Ancients for him as well. You want the fattest possible Alk in the universe. An early Shadow Blade after the Battle Fury, and then you want him to start finding kills around the map. Kill off that split-pushing Weaver. Weaver will not have a fast Linken's. He'll be vulnerable. Trixie will throughout this game. There's lots of heroes that you can just solo kill, but the sooner you get the Battle Fury, the sooner you get the Shadow Blade. So anything this team can do to get him fatter, stacking the Ancients for him, stacking the neutral camps, that's what I'd like to see. It looks like they want to focus more on ganking, though. 2 heroes grouped up, X-Freedom as well as Ice, roaming through the lane and now heading towards top. They actually have 2 smokes here, so they want to finally give XY a bailout, and man, he's earned it. Yeah. He's had a rough game.
I mean, but you're ganking a Lifestealer. How do you make this gang? Era is getting baited perhaps into this particular. He sees everybody and rage dodge, and he could even go into the creeps, and well, there goes your gank. Era's gonna be fine.
Yeah, I thought maybe they would wrap around and go for Hani mid, but even then, it's still a hard kill with Clockwork.
Here comes Fnatic. They're looking for the hook. There's a creep that's gonna
claps there. The hook's available. It flies. It lands. Hani really playing well, stepping his game up here. Great Clockwork play from several players at this event, and Hani will deliver. Huge hook from him. We saw huge hooks from Trixie in our previous series. Once again, Clockwork continues to be a force to be reckoned with for Fnatic, and here I was hearing that hearing that Clockwork was dead, Lumi.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was dead. Nobody plays him anymore, but Fnatic
do.
I mean, look at his CS, right? You say, oh man, we're 8 minutes in, he's got 19 CS, he's doing horribly, but he's just effective all over the map, finding a bunch of kills. He's really gone the max battery. Oh, might be a little bit of trouble. No, drops the cog, says, see ya.
Yeah, it's nice how he just never dies to that. Like, unless you actually cog him in with you, then you're dead. But aside from that, you'll never die to the Razor. And ultimately, you ran Yamate mid. He does have over double the CS of Clock, but is that actually enough? Battle Fury, is it up yet? That's my big question. I think he just needs the broadsword now. No, he has it. There's your Elgato.
9-minute boots Battle Fury.
This was very confident, sending the courier to the Dire shop just for a little bit more efficiency from Ice.
Why not? It's all good.
It's Elgato, man. Elgato doesn't die to silly things like this.
Well, you say that, Trixie, almost.
Yeah. He's gonna have it. Solo Roche. It can certainly go to the Dire secret shop, no problem.
So you talked about how Ice is gonna have a tough game. I'm looking at the lineup, the heroes that he's up against. I feel like you want a Shadow Blade because you want that kind of unpredictable factor to set up some kills. You also need a BKB because without BKB, you're getting Malefice stunned. You're getting locked down by that Lifestealer. You're getting slowed by the Grave Chills. You also are getting slowed down by the Clockwork. So you need a BKB, and you still want an AC. So I feel like Ice. He needs so many items to be able to take on this team.
If there was ever a hero that was good at getting so many items, though, it was this one.
Yeah, but you only have 6 slots. That's also the issue.
Well, I think once he gets his 4 items, you get your Shadow Blade, your BKB, and your Salt Cuirass, then you can go and fight.
Yeah,
he had his Battle Fury at what, 9 minutes?
Yeah,
if he's left unchecked, I think by 20 to 25 minutes he'll have those items.
He literally just got 1,000 gold by taking that stack because of all the Greevil's greed. It's insane.
Yeah, it is max Greevil's greed for Ice. None of this silly concoction, acid spray, solo mid, mech alk. This is your pure good old farming alk.
He's definitely farming away, and Weaver is just looking at them with the...
But there is this window, right? And Fnatic know it, where yes, you've got a Battle Fury, but you don't fight when you have Battle Fury. You farm when you have it. So now we can push your mid tower. We've got drums up on our lifesteal, and we can get really aggressive. And speaking of aggressive, Hani finds a solo kill on XY at the top lane. Looks like a Dire Observer Ward spotted him moving around and sets up an easy hook kill.
And Hani's going for Acceptor. Acceptor is so amazing. We saw Trixie jumping out 3 Acceptor ultimates from his own Clockwork play in that last team fight against Na'Vi. So this is definitely very possible for Hani. He's teleporting bot. He's thinking about perhaps setting up a kill on Ice, but no Clockwork hook, so...
Swarm's there. He'll be able to dodge away for the time being. There's no real commitment just yet. Just Trixie, Heidi, and Sakuchi. No hook available. And Ice, he'll take the tower in front of their faces, and then he'll run away. He's stolen their cake, and now he's eating it too. And now they'll smoke up. Zenith looking to go. No Tail will scout it out. Gets caught by a magic missile. The wave of terror's in. And No Tail has a lot of problems, including this one. Hani to fall as well, potentially. Gets stunned. Dropping fast. A few more right clicks from Yamate. All that are needed.
Battery assault.
Can't get him.
Battery assault.
Yamate was hitting for plus 147 damage there. If he got 2 more hits, that was another kill. He doesn't. And now...
This is tier 2 though, right?
Yeah, that's going to be a tier 2. And that puts Ice on track for probably a 14-minute Shadow Blade at the latest, I would say.
I mean, he's like...
Like, sure, Alk needs a lot of items, but if you do not punish that hero... Heroes, like, the issue is he really punishes certain heroes. Like Weaver, these squishy split pushers, if he doesn't have a Linken's, you can't split push anymore. Yep. Not against the Shadow Blade Alk. Not without your team backing you up. So Weaver can't split push. A lot of these other heroes are very vulnerable from their own. The Enigma, the Visage. So it's sort of like, I feel like it's a lot like playing against a Wisp. When you're up against the Shadow Blade Alk, if you have certain lineups where it's not global, but you just don't know where he is, one of the few carries that can just solo kill you at like 15 minutes into the game.
Yeah, I mean, he is playing marvelously as a farmer.
But he's actually okay, he's not going Shadow Blade, he's going BKB.
I mean, I talked about that. There's just so many heroes and spells in this particular game that forces him to get the BKB. He just drops a half a second stun and just going straight on Era 1v1, trying to fight back a little bit. If you look at his gold per minute, he has almost 700 gold per minute in 13 minutes of gameplay. This is absolutely unheard of. Like, you need to snowball so hard to actually get that kind of number. But here comes a wraparound gank. No Tail smoked up, and I think a trap is set.
This could be it. This is a big kill. There's no chemical rage. They need the backup here for him, but they just TP'd mid. Black hole's in. Elgato! Elgato, get out of there! No, not like that. She'll get away. That was actually really... We're laughing about the courier, but if it dies there, that means no BKB for a good 3 minutes.
Wow.
That hurts, but it does get out.
Yeah, I mean, that was a key kill in terms of slowing him down. Arrow was there to pick up the goal for that kill as well. He's got his armless finish. Swap goes on, and they're going to go Shackle Shot. That's not going to hit, though.
Oh, they're stealing the damage. This is going to hurt. They just need a magic missile on somebody.
The stun.
What micro? Micro skills from No Tail.
Well, that Clockwork Hook right back in, and he's playing way too aggressive, but he gets a cog out, and now XY's going to die yet another time thanks to the birds, as well as a soul assumption. What a counter initiate. Here comes Trixie as well. They want Ice. Ice drops a magic missile, but he's also dead. The chase now goes on. Yamate is on the run. Do they got anything else?
Yamate was hitting for like 300 damage per hit, and he was running there. I mean, I honestly think he could have fought. He had a DD rune. He'd stolen about 100 damage, but they decide to back off. And hey, if Fnatic are going to run, then, or if Zenith are going to run, then Fnatic will take some easy kills.
Yeah, the score's 2-10 right now. Like, it's so uneven. XY 0 and 7. I have not seen a score this poorly. Unfortunately, he just got focused down so hard on the top lane, and it's hard to recover on a hero like Windrunner.
But again, I mean, it's not to pick on him, but you do have to look at the way Na'Vi will play that offlane Windrunner, because it seems a lot more effective and safe.
Yeah,
just clear the trees and farm the Ancients.
It's something that you have to definitely try at least a couple of times yourself or practice in the game, because like, you need the trees to be cut. You need to make sure that they don't just come up and ward it off. Like, you also need the protection of your supports in a sense. So it's a different playstyle, and I'm not sure whether Zenith have practiced that, and I don't think they have, to be honest.
Well, I know for a fact Ice has spent many an hour practicing Medusa Ancient jungling, all sorts of shenanigans involving the Ancients, offlane taker. So I think Zenith of all teams should know about it, and well, they just thought XY could live, but they were wrong. And
they thought wrong.
I mean, again, normally this is a very high impact player for Zenith. I think they're most solid and strong kind of all-around player, but he's just a walking range creep this game, it feels.
That has a Shackle Shot. Let's not forget about that.
That's true.
You land a Shackle and all worries are gone.
Yeah, I mean, then again, Trixie hasn't had the biggest impact either, but he's only died once, right? Not 7 times, so...
He's also a Weaver, so, you know. Weavers don't die. They shouldn't die.
No, they should Windrunner. She's a Windrunner.
Alright, BKB is up on Alchemist, and this early BKB really allows them to basically challenge and start taking a ton of towers. If they want to march into the Roshan pit, they... Okay. In theory, could do so as well.
How much does this actually help you? Life's still physical damage. The swarm goes through BKB. There is black hole. The cogs can still zone you out. The hook can still affect you. I mean, there's a lot of stuff it helps you against. There's a lot of stuff it doesn't.
Right.
And I don't think Zenith really want to force a head-on engagement. sieging is fine, but if Ice just runs into Fnatic, pretty sure he'll still die.
Yeah, he can't really run in. It allows him to have a better team fight.
Well, there is always the swap, though. We have to keep that in mind. There's the send back, and there is the swap.
Clockwork Hook comes right in, and there's a defensive swap. The BKB gets activated. He thinks about fighting Shackle Shot onto 2. Trixie's low. Trixie's dead. The focus power is just so insane from Zenith right now, and they do back off. Yamate's quite low as well. He's also going to survive with Fnatic. He want a little bit more. Drums gets activated, and they will get back very nicely. They lost Avenge for Weaver. Only the win.
Slight win for them there. They do have to use a 10-second BKB, but Ice didn't die. That's the big thing for him. He goes right back to farming the bottom lane, and it looks like they'll be able to hold on to this tower mid for the time being. Yamate just doing a nice job of holding the line while Ice continues to farm. And with the Battle Fury, with the BKB, now he goes for the big items. Now he goes for the scary ones. He'll go next for the AC. If he gets an AC, then I think it's where Fnatic start to fall off a bit in terms of being able to kill him. Because Era has an armlet and treads now, or rather drums on top of his phase boot. So he's got the nice utility items, but they don't have any like hardcore, just punch you in the mouth, right-click power.
Yeah, until he gets his SNY, I'm not sure where he'll go at this game, but he also needs his Basher to really
I think it's more of a Basher game. I think they do need that additional lockdown.
SNY really helps you with attack speed, which in theory helps you with the Basher hits as well. But to me, the one-for-one trade in the mid lane doesn't sound as impressive, but you got to keep in mind that it was a initiation Blighted Clockwork with the Lifestealer inside, and they still got a favorable one-for-one. So Zenith, to me, won that team fight pretty handily in mid, and they're even going to get a tier 1 tower mid. So very nice.
They are looking to go, and they'll go on Yamate, but Yamate's got drums. Yamate is XY in tow.
Shackle Shot.
Malefice is there. The Shackle not doing a whole lot. Ice. Oh, the swap won't save you. And now Hani's jumped in. The hook's in, but Ice. BKB's online. The black hole for him. There's no swap. There's no send back, or is there? Nope, he's going to fall. Now XY on the run. The black hole, timely from Fly, finding the kill. 2 cores for just a clock. And this is the issue. You can get a BKB. You're not immortal this game.
Yeah. I mean, this is looking really bad for Zenith. They got the BKB, but they have 2 death on Alchemist already, and anytime he's dying, oh my goodness, Era, yet another Rage Dodge. I don't think a single Shackle has hit on him. He has Rage Dodge every single one of them. XY is going to survive. Are they going to try to trap Era here and go for the kill? Nice Magic Missile, that's going to hit as well. Test of Fate, but Era says, nah, man, I'm coming right back. Where are the nets? There are no nets just yet. It's on cooldown right now.
Really?
On the run.
Really?
And Era... He's still got armlet toggle. He's not even afraid.
The tier 1 was still up. Fly's like, guys, we do have another objective here, which is killing the damn towers. The captain maintaining some calm under pressure. He'll take that one down. And if you're Fnatic now, you win one more good fight, that's Roche. Because No Tail has a medallion up. They've got Enigma. Frankly, it might be Roche now. Zenith, they're
I think it's Roche now, yeah.
And this is the big issue I have with the BKB rush. It doesn't give you any map presence. Shadowblade does. Shadowblade scares the enemy team. It makes them afraid to farm. It makes them afraid to be aggressive. I'm not sure if they would have completely turned this game, but it would have saved him from that previous gank. He should have had it by then, because he had enough for the Ogre Club as well as the Mithril Armor and some change on top of it. But I don't know, Lumi. This is now looking rather bleak for Zenith. Free farmed safe lane Alch rarely loses, but this might be one of those games.
I mean, generally free farm Alchemist just keeps on free farming. Like, he took a decision and say, we want to fight now, because perhaps we're feeling a little bit of pressure. But to be completely honest, there wasn't much pressure coming out from Fnatic. Oh, and I do believe Yamate's dead, because...
Well, he's got his ult. He's got drums here.
Is dead then, I guess.
Ice is dead. Swaps in, stuns Fly, and then looks to run. The Hand of God's there, but it just takes 2 more hits from Era. Yasha online. Infest, pop backs out. Now go onto Yamate. He does get stunned. Shackle will not connect from XY. Still, there's your hook. Catches out Ice. Trapped in the cogs again. Right-clicking for all he's worth. He'll drive Hani off, but the BKB ends. He'll get sent back to Fountain. Another BKB charge down the drain. Already a 7-second BKB.
He didn't pop his BKB, and to be honest, he got changed on way too much in that team fight.
I mean, he did pop it at the end there. It's not 7 seconds.
Yeah, he missed like 5 or 6 attacks, and, well, it could have been a kill. Meanwhile, Trixie again, off to his little world.
Finally, Trixie's discovered his safe place. It's this top lane.
That PvE Dota.
This is the happy place for Trixie. Nothing bad can happen to him here.
He's going to pick up a Viv booster in 3.
And honestly, nothing bad can happen to him, because
there's no Shadowblade.
There's no Shadowblade. They're not going to kill him. And he'll have a Vitality booster soon. Then he'll be extra safe. They are stacking some more Ancients for Ice, but I just feel this is reactionary, whereas it should have been done from the beginning. Constant Ancient stacking. You have a Chen. You have creeps to do it with. We saw the one big stack of creeps over here. Hook going to fly mid. Won't connect. But I just feel they haven't been dedicated enough to it. And as a result, Ice Ice Ice, 21 minutes in, you could easily have your Assault Cuirass. We'll see Fnatic pick up the Aegis and take Roche, which pretty much was inevitable, I think, after that Tier 1 falls mid. But yeah, they go battle for your Alec, then he rushes a BKB to fight. It's just kind of, it hasn't really amounted to much for them.
Yeah. And to me, how much has this particular Razor have done this game? His GPM's decent this game. He has nice farm, 125 creep kills in 20 minutes. Decent numbers, but I just felt like there was almost no Razor in this game.
Meanwhile, Ice Ice Ice, he wants his Ancients. He wants them bad. Shackle's there on Era. That's an Aegis down. Remember, he does come back with it, though. Enigma looking to join the fight. Fly very far away for the time being. Era walking away. He does drop an Aegis. Then he says, let's fight. There's no BKB for Ice Ice Ice, but there are right clicks. Era, will it be his third death of the International 3? That's right, he's like 42-2. Make it 42-3 or something along those lines. Hani trapped with Yamate. The BKB's there. They get the Aegis. They get the kill on Lifesteal, as well as Clockwork and Visage, and they're going for more. Fnatic fighting as 4, but they didn't have this Enigma. He had Black Hole. They chose to fight without him, and they're paying the price.
Yeah, it was an awkward team fight for them to fight in that particular choke. When the Aegis ran out, he could have just kind of walked away. He did, but he raged and turned back to take that fight, and a rare moment of over-aggression from Fnatic. They throw away a big advantage. It was an Ancient stack for Ice Ice Ice. He was able to farm all of that, and now he farms a big wave up top. We're going to see the Hyperstone and shortly Assault Cuirass. I don't think you want to give away free fights to Ice 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 on his Alchemist.
They actually just gave him an AC.
Pretty much.
Yeah, he had the plate mail, but
he had like half of it already.
Yeah, he got the Hyperstone, and I think he just got the chainmail, but he definitely just got the Hyperstone off of one fight. So that's your AC. Now Ice 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 is back in it, and the other thing is Era slows down his farm. He is 6k gold behind Ice Ice Ice. Fnatic, they took Roche, but the thing is, like, when you run this Lifestealer pick, it's all about you get ahead a little bit early. You get this, maybe you have the same farm as the Alk, but then you just go and fight. And you get an Aegis, then you can fight more aggressively. You can take even better fights. You snowball. You take the tier 2s, you control the map, you asphyxiate your opponents. When you just throw away the Aegis, now it's a bit harder to do that. So
I mean, I like the idea of putting pressure, and that's what they've been doing all of these games, right? Just pressure all over the place, make sure that the enemy carry.
In the other games, it was very organized.
Right. That one was a little bit, well, I guess.
That was like, we got this guy.
Organized chaos, I guess is a better way to put it. Because other games, you have like lasers and morphling waves and timber chains. This game, they ran up like that a little bit too aggressively and paid for it. And we cannot stress on how much it actually means for Zenith.
Yeah, that is so big for them. Getting an item like AC against Fnatic's lineup, all about physical damage. In fact, probably the definitely the vast majority, possibly as much as like 80 or 90% of their damage in teamfights is physical damage. Lifestealer right clicks, the Swarm minus armor, everything that this team has, the medallion as well, it's all about physical damage. They're looking for Hani in the river. They can't find him, but you get an AC, you mitigate a whole lot of that damage. Not just for the Alk, but for his teammates as well.
So where do you go next? I mean, you imagine that Ice 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 still has a ton of growth. You know, he has basically 2 more slots left.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's... I still think Shadowblade's even good now, but I guess probably the logical pickup will be either the Heart or more likely the Basher here.
Or Butterfly. I mean, depending on how he feels, whether he wants to go offensive or defensive.
Yeah, Butterfly would actually be good because generally Lifestealer isn't going to go for an MKB. Maybe Arrow would go for now, but normally they like to get a Basher. So you get a Butterfly against Ice Ice Ice, that's an option as well. I think the point is that he gets to think about his next item now. Whereas before that fight at the Ancients, where Fnatic threw away the Aegis, he didn't.
Well, they're actually going to turn back Smoke and perhaps set up a big gank. If they find a gank right now, it's going to be tier 2. And perhaps a ton of damage on that Rax. But this gank should be quite obvious. There's a huge wave of creeps in front right here, and there's nobody defending that. So that is a big red sign to Fnatic that there is the smoke on the other side of the map.
Yeah, now Zenith's in an awkward position. If they just run straight towards top, they just saw a rocket come from the high ground, and still Yamate wants to go right up the hill. He'll do it.
He's got BKB.
Both teams smoked up. Very close here. There's a black hole available on Fly. There's no BKB yet. Blink Dagger, not purchased. They'll back off. Oh, man, that was a storm of brewing, and it just took a radical upwards turn and backs off.
Yeah, both teams backs off, but I think Zenith lost a little bit more in that. Their tier 3 tower suffered about 600 damage. More importantly, that there was like a 3 creep wave, a farm that Ice 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 missed because they were smoke ganking. So
Hook's there. Yamate is a BKB. Will he get it off? The Hand of God's there. The BKB is as well. Now they're trying to chase, but the Cogs, well, they cover the path of retreat. They don't kill Yamate. They force out a BKB and they get out.
Yeah.
Good for Fnatic.
Yeah.
But if you're Zenith, I mean, they have a great defensive lineup. We're seeing it now. Defensive swaps, Hands of God, Hand of Gods, is it?
Hand of God.
Hand of God.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff.
Lots of S's that was necessary. But yeah, I think having I guess a true one core carry lineup, right? I guess you started the draft with, say, we have Windrunner, we have Razor, and we have Alchemist. But to be honest, Windrunner has not shown up to play. Yamate is kind of your utility hero at this point, almost, it feels like. It's really Ice that's really carrying the entire team. And when you have defensive abilities like the Sandbag, like the Hand of God, and have defensive swap, those spells are really important in keeping a one core alive. And so far, they are doing just that. 2,800 gold on your Alchemist. He's almost got 230 CS. And more importantly, his net worth is just miles ahead of anybody's.
Yeah, I think the big concern, though, is if you have to use their swap defensively, you don't get to swap Enigma. And Enigma will soon have a BKB. You need to be able to swap him. Because if he actually gets off a big black hole and Era's there right-clicking, you're going to lose 3, probably. Maybe even 4.
That's a fair point. Ice is going back for a Shadow Blade, so okay. They're going to get some initiation on.
Well, TP towards bottom. I still like it, because if you look at Trixie's build, his build is great just for like a general tanky build, but I think Al can still solo kill him here. Certainly with any +1, and not having a Lincoln Sphere means that you're very vulnerable to outganks. So Shadow Blade puts a lot of pressure on Trixie, discourages his shenanigans in the top lane, and it still scales reasonably well now. The attack speed's always great on him. When you go back for a basher, his low base attack time makes any attack speed extra efficient.
Yeah, I think this is more or less a reaction of how they've been playing for the last 5 minutes or so. They're looking for ganks, they're looking for pickoffs so that they could push. Because I don't think they're a team that could straight up push against a Clockwork that could initiate. Now we're going to see a solo kill attempt. What a great way to use your first is, oh, the Sentry gets dropped. They are so prepared. What is this? Fnatic Dota. Because why would you have a straight Sentry over here?
Well, I think it was for the smoke gank, but Ice is BKB. Sure, they don't kill. He doesn't kill anyone, but I don't think they actually want to jump him, and they won't. They'll back.
Well, that was a very unfortunate first activation of that Shadow Blade. In. Well,
it is, but there will be more opportunities. Fnatic still, it's a lineup that I feel is somewhat built around the split push, particularly the Weaver and the Lifestealer. So they're still vulnerable to these ganks. They can't both have a gem. They can't have sentries everywhere, and it still helps him push. He still gets a lot more damage, a lot more attack speed, and here we go. Tier 1 being sieged, Fnatic not feeling confident to take a fight. It's the BKB for Fly they wanted, but they do have it now. Are they just afraid? Is it time to rat Dota, or will they defend this Tier 2?
I mean, I'm not sure whether they're all in position to defend that one. You can see that there's a couple of heroes still lagging behind. Era needs to make that TP. I don't think they will get it in time. It depends on whether Ice wants to turn on his ultimate. It looks like he doesn't want to do it just yet. I'm also somewhat confused by the BKB purchase on our Enigma, because SWAT will still go through it. So you're only blocking a Shackle Shot, which is...
I mean, the idea here is probably that you hook in, and then they have to use Swap to get him out of the Shackle.
Right, and then you just...
Or of the Cogs, and then you BKB Black Hole.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think that's probably the thought process here for Fnatic. But you are right, there is still a way to cancel it.
So...
just get a Lincolns afterwards, then you'll be all set.
Well...
only need 5k gold.
Yeah.
Go to it, Fly.
Yeah, we're slowly picking up a couple items here for Zenith. Yamate's working towards his Axe Scepter. You just want to tank up, and he's getting there. Of course, Alchemist is... who knows what he's working on next. I still think that... I think at this point, you want to go Butterfly. Or Basher is a good choice, or Heart. Like, this is what I mean about Alchemist. He runs out slots very quickly. We're 30 minutes in, and he's almost 6-slotted.
Eventually, you do get to a point where you can replace the Battle Fury as well, because there's not much in the way of just an army for Fnatic. I don't think you really need the cleave.
Sure.
There's no AoE lockdown for Zenith to set up the Battle Fury right-click, so I think you can replace the Battle Fury at some point, but
that's much later.
It doesn't really change the problem. Still, BKB maybe can be rebought, but limited item slots. It's a 6-slot hero, and it's a hero that is all about just getting your items before the opponents. He's got his items before the opponents. Now what does he do with them?
Well...
he farms with them. For now.
For now. Sometimes he'll farm heroes as well. Like, he has a Shadow Blade, but he actually isn't brave enough to...
But look at how Fnatic are playing now. They're playing a lot more scared for the most part. Trixie is lumbering towards top lane, but... I mean, I feel if he pushes, like, one more wave, he's going to just die to Ice.
Well, Ice not in vicinity just yet, but there is a TP.
Let's see. Can he solo kill him?
I mean, he's going to back off.
Channels the stun, Shadow Blade, and Trixie into the trees will go. Will Ice find him? Oh, he's got the Sed. He's got the Sed. He finds him, no Essence Spray, and he self-stuns.
Both of them, because
Oh,
that's awkward.
That was disappointing.
Yeah.
He almost got the kill. If he got that stun off, that was a kill.
Oh, there's a breach of travel now up.
And now Fnatic, they know Ice just TP top, so they try to go Roche. Can Zenith react in time to this? They do a Boots of Travel up on Ice like you mentioned. Is there a Chen creep to TP2? There is, but I think Roche will be dead by then, Lumi. They're going to be too late.
Yeah, I don't think they will get it back enough. That Medallion Courage doing a ton of work, and that's another free Aegis going to Era. There's no like big initiation spells or anything. Yeah, Fnatic takes it for free.
They take it for free. Now they get a relic.
For free.
Oh, it couldn't be. Maybe it's not. Yamate jumping in. BKB's a bit late here, but they shackle Fly. Fly's going to go down. That means no black hole. Now Era swap back into an Alk stun. Era to fall once. Will he fall twice? Uh-oh, this could be very bad for Fnatic. There is no buyback forthcoming yet, no buyback available. Era trying to duke it out with Ice. Who's the Bash Lord? You're the Bash Lord, Era, that's right. Cogs are there, stuns on 2. Hand of God keeps them in fighting shape. Now No-Tail retreating out, he'll fall. Oh, and all they need is one more right click. Hani hooking to the north, he will escape. 4, earn, ticket,
oh my goodness.
It's a team wipe.
Alchemist shows up to party. You don't mess with Alchemist.
Zenith. This is that Alk, man.
Is this Rex? I think it's Rex because you can see
there's still black hole. Yeah, but everyone's dead and there's basically no buybacks.
I mean, Yamate have his ultimate up in 12 seconds, and because he has Acceptor, it hits buildings as well. So once his ultimate comes back online, it has to be Rex. In fact, it could be 2 lanes of Rex. It depends on how aggressive that Zenith feels.
They can go straight bottom. If they see a Fnatic buybacks, maybe they back off.
Look at Ice.
2 lanes of Rex. This could be it.
I think this is somewhat of an over-aggression. His ultimate's running out, but he does have BKB coming back up as well. Yamate turns on his ultimate. They're focusing on that tier 3 tower.
Oh, this is dead. This is 2 lanes.
Era still 10 seconds to Era right now, and Ice will have his ultimate back on then, and that's two lanes of Rex.
It's not that Fnatic have 0 chance to come back, but now the Shadow Blade becomes amazing because they're constantly they don't even have towers up in the lanes. They have to sentry this area, and Ice can prey on anyone who leaves the base.
Yep, and Ice, of course, because winning that big team fight has yet another huge set of items. What is it coming?
It's selling the treads, buying the Basher.
Well, he
got
a TP by mistake.
This is by the way, I really wish Valve would fix this. Dota 2 is an amazing game. It's an incredible port of Dota 1, but the courier needs to give you the highest value item. It should not give you a TP when you've got a Basher on it. It's infuriating. If you want a TP, you should do it manually. I'd say like 9 times out of 10, you want the higher value item.
That's fair.
Well, I've definitely died because of that before. It's very aggravating. Because then you try to manually deliver that item, and while it's happening, you're fighting, and yeah, you're dead. Even with Ice's micro skills.
Well, Ice got the correct item with like 3 tries, and he's looking for a TP.
So, Zenith have 2 lanes of Rax. I still feel like Fnatic have a shot, though, like we started to touch on. I mean, they have some heroes that scale quite well in the late game, but it does feel a bit remote now.
Yeah, I mean, Trixie pick him a Radiance. That would have been great in that Roshan team fight. They didn't have it then.
He actually just has the Relic. Still trying to farm the Radiance.
Right, so he doesn't have it. That's
okay.
Yeah. It would have been great in that team fight. And now he's not going to have it because here comes Ice. Bam, bam, bam. 3 shots.
I literally just came there in time to watch his Roach corpse hit the deck. 3 hits, down the bug goes. Squashed.
So Zenith can get this free pick off. They won that last tier 2. And they will get that last tier 2, right?
Wait, you can do that? You can cleave off of Cogs?
Apparently so. I thought he was being smart, attacking the Cogs to break into it and start attacking it.
Oh my god. That's highlight reel worthy. That is honestly GIF worthy. But they're gonna go on Ice now. Oh no. This is a very costly death for him. He is gonna be dead forever. And he immediately buys back. Now he says, well, hook's down, I guess. I mean, they didn't really use much there.
I mean, Burning would not have made that play.
Yeah, that's a nice
Sylar would not have made that play. It's just...
They also wouldn't have made some of the great plays Ice did this game.
That's true.
Probably, because they're not as aggressive. But the aggression, double-edged sword.
Yeah, well, they are going to get a tier 2 after, with a buyback. And the question is, do you want to break the base with that buyback down? Or do you want to wait for 6 minutes?
If they weren't going to break the base, then they should not have bought back here, though. Because now his buyback's on cooldown. If he somehow dies again, and then
that's a window for Zenith to win, or Fnatic to win the game.
Exactly. So if you don't buy back, Fnatic are not pushing on you. So there must have been a plan here, and I don't think a tier 2 is enough of a plan to justify it.
I mean, the plan was Ice says, I'm the biggest, baddest carrier on the map. I'm going to just hit the buyback button because I can. I think that was the plan.
Yeah, I think the plan exactly. It's like because I can.
Right.
I don't know if that's the best reason. He would have had Abyssal as well, but it's okay. He's not dead again yet.
Yet. I mean, he hasn't learned his lesson. He's on his own, right?
Fnatic,
against the Clockwork.
I mean, they have a gem on No-Tail, so he cannot run if Fnatic decide to go for a 3-4 hero gank. And as much as he wants to find these solo kills, even with the DD, he's got to know that Fnatic will not have someone outside of the base without 3 or 4 heroes either behind that hero or smoking around behind you.
Unless there's a Weaver.
No, I think even if it is the Weaver. Like, they baited him last time. I think they'll do it again.
Well, now he grabs the DD and TP's back up. Keep in mind that when he activates the BKB, the DD will be dispelled. And now they're thinking about Victor. Ooh, Refresher Orb. Double ultimate. I think it's time. Yeah,
there we go. Ultimate. Yeah, this double ultimate Razor, it pushes
Holy
so hard.
shit.
Your towers belong to us, says Yamate. Hooks there on Ice, but Hani trapped in a horrible prison. XY hits a shackle. Now No-Tail. He's locked down. He's going down.
Look at these
Yamate. Oh, it's
my God, the lightning.
Epilepsy.
Oh.
Epilepsy City. Era on the run, and this has to be the end.
I mean, somebody put a dubstep soundtrack on the background because Yamate is just doing the light show by himself.
Purge was right before, don't ban the Lifestealer, but I think that's true for some teams, not for Zenith. Zenith know how to deal with Lifestealer, and we see it here.
What a game. Like, that was kind of all over the place, but...
Zenith had a great lineup for dealing with Lifestealer. They had Razor to steal the damage, Shackle to kite him, you have Chen to send heroes back and just frustrate him when he's trying to focus one, Alk for the pure, just, I'm going to beat the crap out of you with my chop suey knives, that's what he did. Minus armor City. A great lineup to deal with Lifestealer. Great lineup to just punish Fnatic.
I mean, I'm looking at this Zenith team that has a 0-7 win runner, and they still make this kind of comeback or victory. And sometimes you saw Ice dying at the late game, getting caught up by himself. Like, they are so good if they play on point, but when is the Zenith, like what Zenith shows up, you never know.
Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Well, Purge, Merlini, Fnatic no longer undefeated. We were all wrong. We all said 2-0.
I'm just really glad I got to see that Aghanim's Refresher. I got in a pub game once, and they don't you hate it when you get like really farmed and everybody just quits right before you get to, that was like the most beautiful 20 seconds. I was just like, all my dreams came true there. That was so great.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was a nice strategy. They had more synergy than last game. They had a lot of minus armor with Alk, with Venge, with the Razor too. Razor actually didn't, or they had a Lifestealer, so he could drain it a lot too. So Lifestealer wasn't like super effective. Yeah. It was like a lot more put together. I think that it would have gone a lot smoother if their other lanes didn't just like feed miserably though. Like
I really thought that was over when the Windrunner was 0-6. Honestly, I was like, okay.
But, I mean, an Ice we trust. I mean, they can't have Ice everywhere. Unfortunately, I think he's probably the best player on their team.
Oh yeah.
And if they had like a little bit more solid off lane or carry, then they could win a lot more games. But they had to fight back from a pretty large deficit, and only through ISS's like ridiculous farm were they able to power through that.
I really like the Battle Fury choice rather than going for something really greedy like a Midas. Battle Fury gives you not only just a lot of farming potential, but the right click is really serious because your attack speed is already pretty high from having Alchemist. So plus 65 damage on top of that is great. You can grab a BKB for early fighting. You guys criticized the Shadow Blade a little bit. He maybe didn't get ganks off, but I mean, even the later Shadow Blade, he did produce a couple kills, especially against like Weaver, who is very stacked towards preventing magic damage when really what he had to worry about was just minus armor burst. So
yeah,
I think he needed Lincoln's too.
Yeah, I actually like the Shadow Blade. I just would have liked to see it sooner. Yeah, I don't think the BKB early actually did anything. Again, I think it's like Lumi said. I don't think it was perfect from Zenith, but that was not perfect, and they beat Fnatic. Yeah, that's scary.
It did help a lot against Clockwork, for example. You do have to worry about that magic burst. Like Battery Assault is really scary. Clock had a really good early game as well.
Or getting pushed back by the cog.
That's and the cogs are really frustrating. If you get cogged in and even Clockwork escapes, you can't even exit the cogs without getting burned. So
I'm also surprised that Fnatic chose Enigma in like both of these games. I didn't feel like it was that big of an impact. Like,
yeah, was there even any good black holes?
I don't think so.
The Courier almost died. They used it to kill.
But like, why not? If they're going to use like solo holes like that, why not use Fiend's Grip, for example?
Well, you can't jungle with Bane.
Yeah,
one problem.
He was able to push a lot. He was able to gank a lot. I mean, I don't want to put the game on Enigma. I don't think he played poorly.
I don't think he played poorly at all either.
It's sometimes. I don't think you pick Enigma for the black hole. That's how I see the hero.
Yeah, and I also think like the turning point in this game was that Ancients fight. They just took Roche.
Yeah.
They threw away Aegis, Lifestealer's Life, and 2 other heroes for nothing. Literally nothing. And Ice got the Ancients.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want
AC.
I don't know if I would quite say throw, but that was like a catastrophic fight for them.
Yeah. That was
a little too greedy.
You've stacked it's like you're building that house of cards, and then they just went whoosh.
They're like, wait, let's just put one more on it before we push and win the game.
So going into the series, most of us predicted 2-0. Did we overrate Fnatic or did we underrate Zenith?
Yeah, or let's ask the question: did Fnatic or did Zenith win the game, or did Fnatic lose the game there?
I think Zenith won the game.
Okay, I think Fnatic lost the game, to be honest.
I think Fnatic lost the game too.
Yeah, they were so ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit of both. I still think Zenith did some really smart things with the draft. Like, I thought their execution was mediocre. Again, I think XY should have been at the Ancients a lot more, just doing what Fnatic does for Na'Vi. Play more defensively. Ice, I think the Shadow Blade first would have been a bit stronger. I felt like some of the early movement from Venge and Chen didn't accomplish a whole lot, but I thought the draft was really good. They had so many ways to deal with Lifestealer, and when Lifestealer didn't get huge and Trixie got shut down early, they were kind of out of gas in the mid game.
Yeah.
It was not perfect by Zenith.
I guess the most impressive thing is I want to just repeat what Purge was saying. Like, there is some inevitability with that Razor ultimate. Because when you double Razor ult and you just walk up the hill, like, you know the game is ending one way or another in 20 seconds. Either your base gets blown up or they get blown the hell up, because
that needs to be, like, the visual effects for that, in all seriousness, need to be toned down, because
nah, man.
I actually think
you never have by like 80%.
Okay, if not, then Dota 2 needs to come with a big epileptic seizure warning, because seriously, someone's gonna get a seizure from that.
I don't understand how we farm that, honestly. Like, Razor is not the fastest farmer.
He just came out of nowhere with like a refresher.
Field.
I was like, what's going on? He just picked up Ags.
And he had Ags and a BKB on top of it. Like,
too much.
Yeah.
What do you do?
That was beautiful.
That was great. And the best part is, even if they black hole it, you're still just zapping.
I know.
If you guys don't know how that works, it reduces in 1 armor every time it zaps.
Yep.
So if you get refresher, it's just like, and it does physical damage, so it accelerates and does more and more. That's why the Enigma popped his wand, and it didn't matter. It would just burn through him even faster.
And it also, with Aghanims, works on buildings. Not the minus armor, as I mistakenly thought in the past, but the damage does. So it just shreds towers. Shreds them. Well, guys, that wraps up this series. Let's take a quick look at the groups, and then we'll break, and we'll come back for our next match. So, group standings. Kawa, you've been on the ball today, buddy. He didn't sleep much last night, but here he is. So, I think Na'Vi is playing...
DK, 4-0.
I believe Na'Vi and Mouse are playing now on Toby's stream.
DK 2-0 LGD.
This doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, Gods and I were both saying coming to this event that DK... We actually think they're a very strong shot to win the event.
Wow.
But it is early.
So,
best of 2 still.
1 undefeated team in Group A, and looks like
LGD 2-2. What happened there?
They lost to DK.
Okay, it was to DK.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not too surprising. I would have said DK is definitely top 5 of the whole event, so I'm not too surprised to see them start off with 4-0. Keep in mind, in Alienware, they also did really, really well. LGD finished, bottom of the pack, ends up winning, or getting second, correct? So
I have LGD China on my compendium.
I've been told that DK and LGD are both 3-1. Kawa, the chat's freaking out. So they're both 3-1.
Okay, so they 1-1 each other.
Yeah. So
I assume if this many people in chat are mad, they probably know what they're talking about. Okay. Okay, we'll fix that, guys. Don't relax.
Yeah, I have LGD China as a team to win it all for myself. So
no undefeated teams in Group A.
Yeah. One thing to point out: Dignitas is sitting at 2-2, if that's accurate.
Who did they beat?
I doubt everything now, but
who did they beat?
MUFC? They were playing MUFC.
Okay. How are they 2-2 and MUFC is only 0-3?
There is just no correct information at all anywhere.
All right, guys, we threw a bunch of numbers on the board. Might be right. Not sure.
All right, I'm gonna go to Dota2.com.
No, but they're not updated.
Yeah, this morning they were wrong because they had like 0-0 DK.
They had Na'Vi 2-0 after getting stomped by Fnatic 2-0.
Okay, according to Dota2.com, Na'Vi has won a game. They're 1-2 now.
Okay, we're getting there, Jarrett. No. DK's 3-1. LGD 3-1. We're gonna fix this right now. You're not going anywhere, buddy. Okay. I think that's right. Show the website again, Luby.
All right, we
have. I want to have the right stats before we talk.
All right, we have 0-4 MUFC. We have 1-2 Na'Vi. And 1-2 Mouse Sports.
Okay.
And I think you have everything else.
So Mouse is 1-2. I guess we need to update that.
Well, according to this website, Zenith is also 1-2, which is impossible because they play 4 games already.
Well, yeah, they just won that one. So Mouse 1-2. I guess their other game versus Na'Vi underway. So they wait, they were 1-1, I guess, and they just dropped a game. Was that the case?
What's the case?
I think Na'Vi just took a game off Mouse, and now they're playing their second game. So Navi's 1-2, Mouse is 1-2, and then we're correct.
And then Fnatic is
Jesus.
3-1. Yeah.
This production value off the charts.
So will there be any undefeated teams here? I guess Alliance and Tongfu is
not in Group A.
Not in Group A. Alliance, Tongfu, as well as Invictus Gaming is on record, on track. Do you do that?
Kawa. What? Fix.
Which one?
Mouse is 1-2 and Navi's 1-2. Just disband. Let's just disband.
How did Kawa not have sleep?
I don't know. Because he was on this Asian sleep schedule. Now the TI3 started. He's up all night.
Kawa, you have the biggest tournament in the whole year. You don't sleep for it.
Give him a break. I would mess up too.
I didn't sleep too much either.
One thing that really sticks out to me is Mouse Sports sitting down there, 7th of their group, and we were predicting possibly the 4th place. So not looking so hot for them.
I will say I spoke to Black yesterday before the games today, and they apparently didn't have the best practice, the best boot camp at TI3.
Okay.
And at least he didn't feel that confident going into their games today. So maybe there's some truth to that. Then again, I mean, you always have to go back to that example yesterday. Quantic was super confident, and then they got rolled. So your feels only matter so much.
Yeah, TI3, it's pretty high skilled, turns out.
Yeah. It's still early, though. I mean, even after day 1, Na'Vi went 0-6 on day 1 last year. So as much as we'd love to crown a champion off of these group stage
I don't think they
results,
went 0-6. They went like 2-4.
2-4? I think they went 0-6.
Really?
1-5 maybe.
I feel like they won a
really
game.
bad.
I feel like I would remember if they won 0 games day 1.
Yeah,
they had a really bad day 1.
Yeah, it was a bad day, but I think they won at least 1 match.
And I mean, CLG went 6-0, finished 6-8. So anything could happen.
Well, what's coming up next for us is LGD International versus Rattlesnake. So that should be a pretty decent game to watch.
Should be a close one, I think.
Yeah, I personally like to watch LGD again, so because I haven't seen too much.
So guys, we will take a very quick break. Then we'll come back and we'll be casting LGDN versus Rattlesnake. Stay with us.